Good morning, Oklahoma. Welcome to Cow-Calf Corner on Sunup TV. This week, we're going to talk about the stages of parturition in beef cattle. And there's fundamentally 3 stages, and we're going to talk a little bit about what happens in each one, because it's important as we think about when we find that heifer or cow calving, when should we possibly intervene and offer assistance. The first stage of parturition is the one that can take several hours or even several days in some cases. This is when we might see that heifer or cow separate herself off from the herd, maybe not coming up to feed, and there's beginning to see some dilation of the cervix inside as she gradually prepares to give birth to that calf. The second stage of parturition is when we officially see the water bag. And this is what we say we always want to start our clock, so to speak, because that second stage is actually having the calf and the fetus actually comes out. Now, this is the one that should occur in a more brief amount of time, but if we see that heifer or cow that's off by herself and we don't actually see a water bag or anything initially, that means she's probably still in stage 1. Stage 2 is going to start if we see the water bag. Typically at this point, if we are looking at a heifer doing this for the first time, we expect her to be able to have this calf unassisted within an hour of seeing the water bag. If it's a mature cow, we're more likely to see it happen in about 30 minutes. Now, we say start our clock when we see the water bag, because if we start to exceed those amounts of time, we probably want to get that cow or heifer in a chute, get her cleaned up, get ourselves clean, get an OB sleeve on, get some lube, some kind of AI lube, something like that. And with her secured in a chute for everybody's safety, we're actually going to palpate, go in here, see what's going on. And as long as we have still got an intact water bag around this fetus, if we are seeing feet coming to us first and a nose of a calf right behind that, if we can potentially reach up in here and determine that the spine of that calf is up against the spine of that cow or heifer, we know we've got a normal presentation with front feet coming out first. If a water bag's still surrounding that calf, it's safe to give her a little more time to try to complete this process for herself. If we've got a broken water bag, we need to act and potentially start to provide some assistance and help get that calf or that fetus on out at that point in time. If we reach in here and we are not feeling front feet and nose of calf, we've got an abnormal presentation. Calves can be coming backwards, upside down, have a head back, a leg back, any number of things that we may not be able to fix by ourselves, and it may be time to call our veterinarian and get some assistance in that form to actually help this process along. When the calf is born, that is the completion of stage 2. Stage 3 of parturition, or the calving process, is actually expelling the placenta. That should happen within a few hours after the calf is born. In some cases, it may take up to several days. 4 to 7 days is not totally uncommon. The one thing, if you see retained placentas and that cow hasn't shed that placenta within 6 to 12 hours after giving birth, don't proceed or try to pull that out. We potentially do some damage inside. If we take that approach, it can take up to several days. If you've got a cow with a retained placenta, keep an eye on her over that time. If she begins to act sick or off, we may need to intervene, give some antibiotic, and make sure we haven't got some kind of an infection working there. So that's a quick overview of the 3 stages of parturition and some ideas about when we should intervene, offer some assistance, so we try to get more live calves born and on the ground and bump up that percent calf crop weaned in our cow herd. Thanks for joining us this week. Look forward to seeing you in the future on Cow-Calf Corner.